Yo, how's it going everyone? It's me, Arctic. Today's video, we're going to be going over a weapons guide for Aloy, and also discussing her stats, passives, and talents a little bit. My first initial video got taken down, which was a little bit sad, and so that's why I've covered up Aloy's face right here with a little emoji. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about weapons that are going to work very well on here today. If you guys are new to the channel, remember to subscribe. I'm almost at 4,000 subscribers. It really helps me out quite a bit. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Yeah, so basically with Aloy, she's somewhat of a DPS and slash support kind of. She's basically an all-around good character for free-to-plays, I would say. One thing to keep in mind is that her little skill basically gives her a cryo infuse on her bow attacks. So her auto attacks are definitely one of her focuses. So stuff like a rust could work very nicely. We'll talk about that in a bit. But she also does have a good amount of damage from her elemental skills, so stuff like stringless can actually work as well. The reason why something like a stringless could work very well is if you are going for her in like a melt reaction comp with her. Her ult does scale off pretty high, which is going to be nice for free-to-play characters so they can get a lot of damage with her. And she also, this passive right here on the stringless gives an increase to elemental skill and elemental burst damage by 24%. And yeah, this also gives elemental mastery, so you are going to have higher reaction numbers, so it'll actually be pretty good with Aloy. On that, you are missing out on the auto attack damage that you would get otherwise. However, this weapon is still very, very strong and definitely a very usable option. The Alley Hunter is another option as well. This one has been on weapon banners in the past. This one basically, it gives you a 20% damage bonus, up to a 20% damage bonus, but you have to stay off the field for a certain amount of time. And with how one of her Aloy's passives works, it basically gives you an attack increase for her and also her party members. It's not that much of an attack increase, but this weapon will start stacking up as soon as you leave the field again. So yeah, you'll probably be able to maintain a decent amount of these stacks. And also, you can stay on the field for 4 seconds before it starts going down again. So give or take 4 seconds, what you can basically do is you can pop on the field, do like your burst or something, or elemental skill, activate that. She is a very utility type focused character, which is kind of nice. And yeah, this one weapon will be pretty decent. It does come with a high base attack and also attack percent substat. So overall, it's a pretty decent weapon. The Blackcliff Warbow is a very good option for characters in general. And this one comes with crit damage, a high base attack, and after defeating enemies you get increased attack, so if you are running Aloy as a main DPS, this weapon could be very advantageous. And yeah, this weapon isn't that hard to get really. You just have to save up enough of your star glitter in order to get this weapon from the shop. And yeah, I would definitely recommend going for one of these. It is one of the strongest 4-star weapons in the game. Bow might actually be a pretty decent option as well, especially if you are just starting off in the game. This one basically gives you normal and charged attack hits, increase your attack by 4%, and normal attack speed by 1.2% for 6 seconds. You get a maximum of 4 stacks. This one does give you physical damage. However, basically, if you are going to use Aloy, her elemental skill basically does give her cryo infusion, which it'll basically make this where it's not usable at all. However, if you are using Aloy as more of a constant, you're like main, you know, this weapon might not actually be that bad, and also will increase your attack speed and attack basically in your abilities also, so it's not that bad of a weapon. It is kind of usable. However, I think the other craftable one is a little bit better. Craftable one is going to be the Prototype Crescent, and this one, charge attack hits on weak points increase your movement speed and also attack by 36%. 36% is a very large amount, and also this one has attack percent and it's basically usable constantly. And yeah, this weapon will be very good. If you are going to like DPS with Aloy, I would recommend activating this passive on here before you would actually trigger your elemental skill, you know, because you're trying to get the most out of this. And also her elemental skill does give you infusion for 10 seconds, so it does work kind of nicely with this. However, I think it's probably going to be the best option out of the 4 stars for Aloy. And the reason behind this is because she does definitely focus on her auto attacks quite a bit. If you aren't going for burst reaction damage or elemental skill damage, yeah, this weapon will be very good for main DPS on Aloy. Increases your normal attack damage by 40%. It does decrease your charge attack damage by 10%, which isn't too much really. This comes with attack percent and also a pretty decent base attack as well. So yeah, this is a very good option if you are going for her auto attacks, which is part of her kit that synergizes very well. Viridescent Hunt could be a pretty good option. This one is the Battle Pass weapon, and upon hit, it gives you normal and aim shots have a 50% chance to generate a cyclone. This basically groups enemies and deals a little bit of damage over time, and it can occur every 14 seconds. This does come with a crit rate ascension stat, so you are going to be able to crit a bit more with like your burst, your elemental skill, and so this weapon does have quite a bit of value for that. Digital bow is also a pretty decent option as well, if you are running like a Aloy as more of a support. What this one does is after damaging an opponent with an elemental skill, you have a 40% chance to reset the cooldown, and this can occur every 30 seconds. And since Aloy's skill does have multiple damage procs, like it has its initial explosion, and then it splits off into a bunch of little tiny bombs that give her like a bonus with how many you hit basically of those. And so that'll have a lot of chances to actually reset this. In addition, this also has a high base attack, and it comes with energy recharge, so you'll be able to have your burst up a lot more often. Aloy is one of the new Inazuma bow weapons, and this is going to be alright on her, I would think. It increases your normal attack damage by 16% and your charge attack damage by 12%, and then when your burst is full, you're going to get that boosted by 100%. Overall, I think this is better than her specific option, which is called the Predator Bow. It's a PS4 exclusive. Yeah, I think this is still just a way better option than that one is. And yeah, this weapon is relatively good. It does come with a base attack that is 510. In the database it still shows it's like 454. But yeah, it's 510, it comes with attack percent. So yeah, this is a pretty decent option. If you are pairing it with like a rust mixing between auto and charge attack damage, this could be pretty decent. The Predator Bow is her specific weapon. And now what this does is it basically dealing cryo damage to opponents, increases the character's normal and charge attack damage by 10% for 6 seconds. And you can get a maximum of 2 stacks of this. And when Aloy equips the Predator, you get another 66 per attack. And really, this weapon is alright. And then, yeah, it's alright. It does come with attack percent. It's basically like a Rust, except worse, in my opinion. Skyward Harp is going to be an excellent option if you are using Aloy as your main. And what this does is it gives you a crit rate ascension stat. It goes up to 22%. So yeah, it's going to be very nice. It does have a very high base attack, so you're going to be able to get a lot of attack off of this. It also increases your crit damage by 20% and gives you this little 60% chance to activate a small AoE attack that does a little bit of physical damage, so it increases your DPS from that. Amos Bow could also be a pretty decent option as well. It increases your normal and charge attack damage by 12%, and then it gives you another additional bonus based on how far away you are from the enemies. And yeah, that's going to basically give you a lot of normal and charge attack damage. And so this weapon is pretty strong. And then it does come with a good base attack and attack percent substat, so you are going to be able to get a lot of damage off of this. For the end, could be a very good option if you are running her as more of a support, using like her skills and that kind of stuff. And what this does is it gives you this Millennial Movement stack, which increases your Elemental Master by 60. And when elemental skills or elemental bursts of the character wielding this weapon hit opponents, the character gets a Sigil of Remembrance. This effect can be triggered once every 0.2 seconds, so basically if you cast your elemental skill, you'll probably be able to get like 2 or 3 stacks from this. And when you possess 4 seals of this, all of them will be consumed and all nearby party members will obtain Millennial Movement, Farewell Song for 12 seconds. You will increase Elemental Mastery by 100%, so it'll be nice for like burst reactions, that kind of stuff. It also increases attack by 20%, and once this is triggered, you can't get more stacks for another 20 seconds. Yeah, so overall this weapon won't be that bad. It does come with energy recharge as a substat, so you'll be able to have your burst up a bit more. So this is more of a support weapon. The Thundering Pulse is also a great weapon to use on here as well, because this does increase your attack by 20%, and then you do get these stacks of the Thunder Emblem that increases your normal attack damage by 12, 24, or 40% based on how many stacks you have. And you get a stack for each of the following scenarios. Normal attacks deal damage, which is what Aloy does pretty easily. Casting an elemental skill, that stack lasts 10 seconds, which Aloy's elemental skill is on a little bit of a higher cooldown than that. However, you are going to be able to get a good amount of time from this. Energy is less than 100. Stack disappears when energy is full. This weapon overall was going to be extremely good on her. It does come with a 608 base attack and 66 crit damage right here. So yeah, that is it for the weapons guide. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. Also remember to subscribe and also follow me on Twitch, Arctic_Hakioku, twitch.tv/Arctic_Hakioku. I do dual streams on YouTube and also on Twitch. They stay up on Twitch longer. But anyway, it's been me, Arctic. I'll see you guys next time. Farewell.